Hello, welcome to the show. Okay, so there's a couple things I found out you might like. These will work in Kajabi, and so I'm going to just explain it to you. And it should be actually pretty easy. So um, I don't have access to your Kajabi, so I couldn't test this out. But the principle is still kind of the same. So I've tested it out, and so what I took away the class thing that we were using, but I have the items and they're split up with padding. So if you look at this, when you're in your inspect in your browser, you can actually see the padding size, and you can even adjust it here to see if there's a better, like let's say, oh, you know what, I like 28 better. You could do that. Um, but let's refresh. Okay. So what this is the UL. You want to think of it like a container, right? And so the margin here that's being set up. Let's look at our UL. Um, it's the orange there. So that margin is bumping everything over, and you'll notice that the bullets are actually in the margin. They don't behave properly. Um, so if I wanted to increase this, let's say to 45, then now that's moved over. Um, let's see here. So margin just means the outside of the item. Padding is the outside of the item, and then the cushioning inside of it. Most people say you want to have your margins at 0 and then your paddings at 1 rem or 1 em or 1 whatever, or how many pixels you want. And the reason is because I don't know why refreshing this. Okay, there we go. Anyway, um, yeah. So uh, the reason is because if you have your margins at 0, then all of your containers are going to be like touching each other. But then the padding is what's going to be separating all the elements inside of them. So something to think about. You probably know all this stuff. Okay, so I did want to talk a bit about pseudo classes before I go on. So there's this hover one. So it's basically just a colon and then the pseudo class. So I've set background color to aqua and then font size 1.5. And so if I hover over the things, now all of a sudden they seem interactive. If I click on it, like nothing's happening, right? Like there's no feedback or anything like that. Um, that would be like A tags and that sort of stuff. So if you have links attached to these, by clicking on them, they'll take you to that thing, obviously. If we wanted to, um, well, let's just look at this. So what's happening when we're doing our before, right? If we take this and we show you the li after, you'll see it placed after the item. Before is just placing it before the content. And so we don't need all these bullets and that sort of stuff. So let's get rid of those. So text decoration, list style, none. Text decoration is just if I add an A tag, it naturally wants to underline it and make it purple, and that takes that away. I guess we don't need that for this. So let's just do that. No change there. And then if we put before, now this is kind of what we were seeing was this content and this, and then a bunch of other get this image and that sort of thing. What this is, this backsplash, and you want to make sure it's a backslash, because if it's a forward slash, it actually is looking for a path. We don't want that. So the backslash is identifying that it's going to be a Unicode thing. And if you go to this website here, unicode-table.com, it gives you all of these different things that are across systems. So Unicode is kind of universal. Universal. So all of these will work across all systems. They might not look the same necessarily on every system, but they'll be there. So you can kind of rely on them. So if I was to take like this maple leaf, go back to our document here, go like this. Oh, and yeah, just to show you, like I put an icon directly into content and it showed up. So something that you can do. Okay, so I put that in. I've set font size to be 2 rem, and now I'll show you what this is doing. Like if, oh man, this is way too big. I don't want it that big, and you can adjust it with the font size like this. This doesn't work. Again, Kajabi might have an issue with this. I don't know. But if I do 3.5, you can see like just how big things you can adjust either thing. So like here, if I wanted to say font size, so you can actually adjust these individually and see how when I'm hovering over them. Like let's actually just switch this. We could say we want this to be 1 and we want this one to be 2. So when I hover over it, my item gets bigger, like the wording, the content gets bigger. So now, if I wanted to change the color of these ones, like because this is more of a complex Unicode, and you'll notice like this does not look the same as this one, right? Because of my system. But it's kind of cool, right? Like it's going to be unique to each individual, I guess. I'm curious to see what this would be on a Mac. But if I hit color, and I want, you know what? I want blue leaves. Oh, I can't change, like it's not going to change these. But if I was to use, let's say one of these more simple ones. You can see it's blue here. Who wants blue leaves? I want a green leaf. You know? Oh, it's the fall. I want a red leaf. And it'll change the color. If you want, excuse me, see the spacing here isn't great. If I go padding right, and I go 1 rem, moves everything over. So you have some flexibility here, which I think this stuff should work in Kajabi because it is CSS. So hopefully that helps. You could use Font Awesome if you want. It'll function the same way, but I'm pretty sure you're going to need the font family listed in here so it knows what it's looking in. Because right now Unicode is just like the most basic text stuff. Here, let's look at star. Okay, so same sort of thing. Let's say I go, I want a star. I have a nautical feel to my site or whatever. There you go. Change the bullets. It's literally just putting it before the content. So now, if you want to have some sort of thing while there's interaction, what you can do is have this active thing. So if someone clicks on it, I guess we should make this bigger. And that's what active does. So hover when the mouse is over it, active when the mouse clicks on it, and then before is just putting the place and after sort of thing. Now, if you wanted to, yeah, I mean, this is the basic thing of what you're trying to do. So Test it out. Let me know what happens, and because I'm curious to find out if Kajabi can do this. And I'll talk to you then. Have a good one.